Hello, it's Mr. Baumgarten. Welcome back to more of training your virtual pet. Today I want to talk to you about using functions to help organize your code. At the end of the last video, I gave you a challenge if you could make your code work into four quadrants for left and right as well as top and bottom. So you can see here my work in version of the answer. I now have four counters: top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, and I'm displaying those numbers in the four different quadrants, having worked out the coordinates. And then down here I have four different rectangles that I'm drawing in all four scenarios. So I've got, if I'm on the left, and you can see here, okay, I know that I'm on the left because x is less than 160. Then I'm asking another question: is y less than 120? If it is, then that means I'm in the top left, right? The hashtag just means that this is a comment. So this is for me to understand what is going on. When this happens, I'm going to increase my top left by 1 and then draw my four rectangles. Else, if I'm in the bottom left, then increase that by 1 and draw those four rectangles. Notice that that else statement is in line with that if statement, because that's the alternative scenario to the y question. Whereas this one here is at the same level of indentation as this one, because it's the alternative scenario to that if statement, right, being on the right. And then here I've got a brand new question, again, if I'm on the top or the bottom. So if I look at that running, we can see that it behaves as expected. Now, if I want to use some functions to start helping to organize this code. And one of the useful things about functions, they are basically us creating our own Python command that we can then use elsewhere in our code. And you can see here that we're already up to line 44. So we're starting to get long pieces of code happening here. And functions will give us the benefit of being able to kind of tuck some code out of the way, code that we know works. Let's move it out of the way so that this part here, where I'm having to really think through and concentrate on my x values and my y values and everything else, it's not cluttered up with all this extra drawing of rectangles. So I'm going to cut this out and come up to the very top and define a new Python command or a function. And so I use def as short for define, and I'm just going to say top left, right, TL for top left. I can't call it top left, right, because I already have something called top left. I've got my number is called top left. I can't call the function the same name. Python won't know. It'll get confused as to whether I'm talking about the number or the function. So I have to make sure I use different names. So in this case, I'm going to keep it short, top left, but I might put underscore rectangle just so I remember that, hey, this is drawing my rectangle. And now if I paste my code back in, and the same as with the loops and the if statements, Python uses the indentation to understand, right, this code belongs to the function, and then when I stop my indentation, that's no longer part of the function, it's just normal code. So I have my top left rectangle. Now I'm going to quickly pull out, and then to tell Python to run this command, right, it's top left and parentheses. All commands, anytime I want to run a function in Python, it always has a set of parentheses. You notice that that's happening here with rectangles, that's happening here with draw text, and it happens with our own commands that we invent as well. So let's quickly do the same for these other ones. Alright, so this is going to be bottom, oops, I'm wanting it to happen in this code here, so bottom left, let's get my names correct, top left rectangle, bottom left rectangle as well. Alright, so define bottom left rectangle. Shift tab is the key that's moving the highlighted block all in one go, and I'm going to quickly do the other two. Okay, so I've just quickly done, I've got top left rectangle, bottom left, top right rectangle, bottom right rectangle, and you can see that I have defined my functions up the top. top here. And my code crashed because here I don't name top left recti doesn't exist. I've got a typo somewhere here. Yeah, there's a rogue Y appearing there. So if I stop, save, oh, come on, yes, I did stop it, save, run. Hopefully this time it works. Okay. And so now what that means is I can use these functions here as if they always existed, right? They are my own Python commands that I have created and invented, and I get to just run them. And it means anytime there's some code I want to use the code. I know it works, but I don't want it cluttering up my main thing where I'm concentrating. I can just tuck it out of the way up the top of my code like that, and then here in the part where I'm concentrating, I can think more clearly because I don't have all the extra clutter. It also means I can keep on, I can run that command as many times as I want in other places in code. So one nice thing about functions, it means I can write a piece of code once, and once I'm confident that it works, put it into a function, and I can then use it many other times within my code, knowing that it works, and I can just keep reusing it. Whereas here I'm only using each function once. There's nothing stopping me calling the bottom left rectangle function elsewhere in my code. And your functions are full normal Python code. They can have if statements, they can have loops, they can have their own variables that only exist within the functions as well, and we can send values to them, which we will start doing later on. All right, so get that all up and working, and then come back for the next video. This is Mr. Baumgarten signing out.